I bet that pause was hella uncomfortable for most people. Welcome back to Instructions for Humanity. It's your girl, Tahirah, your spiritual teacher. Today we are talking about the uncomfortable silence. Today we are talking about just allowing ourselves to exist. I bet that sounds hella strange. I bet you never heard that before. I'm going to share a story with you guys. Yesterday I was helping someone out. I was guiding them through like an imagery under hypnosis. I was guiding them through an imagery so that they can go ahead and get rid of the things that no longer serve them and meet with their higher divine thought, aka what most people call their higher self. So this is when I learned the lessons about just existing. So I'm going to tell you the story. So I guided this gentleman up a staircase, and on each stair we worked on an exercise where he was to empty out his sack. He was to leave things behind that were troubling him here on the 3D plane. So as we got higher and higher and higher, his sack was getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And when we reached the top, I told him he's going to meet with his highest divine self, and he was able to see himself out in the universe, and I asked him to describe it, and it was quite beautiful because he told me that he was a star. And I asked, what are you doing as that star? And what he said, it was so beautiful to me. He said, I'm just existing. I didn't ask any other questions. I just became silent. And I was like, when is the last time you were allowed, ever, if ever, allowed to simply just exist? I wanted him to feel that, what that felt like. Because he had been carrying so much stress, disappointment, feeling like a failure, feeling like he wasn't good enough. He'd been carrying that in his sack. And as he met with his highest divine self, he was just existing. There was no time when he was that star. He was just existing, and I was like, this is beautiful. And I want to bring this message to all of you guys today. We need to not be afraid of the uncomfortable silence. The silence is only uncomfortable because we've been told that we need to fill in the silence with words, with actions, but we don't. We were born to simply just exist. Yeah. Just exist. This world will make you feel that you're not good enough. And I don't know if it's not so much the world will make you feel that way, or is it that how we perceive the people around us and the things that they have. And when you look at other people out here in this matrix, you kind of gauge where you are on your journey when you look at them. But you're looking through the ego lens, which the ego wants all of those material things. And so we start thinking, oh boy, this person has this. I might not be good enough. What I'm doing may not be good enough. But see, you were born simply just to exist. There is no such thing as doing. If you have to do something, then you are out of sorts. You are out of line with how you were created. If you say your creator is perfect, your creator doesn't make any mistakes, your creator has handcrafted you, but yet now you need to figure out what to do when you get here. You try to go down this road, it doesn't work, so then you turn around, you go down this road and you try all these different things and you end up back where you started, because the truth is you were born perfect to exist. exist in what you already have. It's already good enough. It's the silence. The silence is your source self. Source is the empty spaces in between all things. There's only one creation when source creates. It's a continuum. There are natural disruptors along the way. That's how we get from one creation to the beginning of the next. But source follows one pattern in creation. Source only knows how to create. We all have that geometric pattern inside of us. Even the plants, we all share the same pattern. The golden flower, the circle of life. You are already divine. There's nothing that you need to do. If you feel as if there's something that you need to do, then you're saying that you have not been created perfectly. If you need to fill in these awkward pauses, it's what we call it. But it's not. The stillness is the divine. The stillness. Just be quiet for a moment. Let's just exist for a moment. Let's just exist. I'm going to do this imagery with you guys at the end of the video so that you can commune with your higher self, your highest divine thought. But we were born to just exist. And I know it's shocking to people because it's like, what? I don't have to do anything? No. The Matrix tells you that you have to do all these things. But if you are doing, you are a human doing. No, you are a human being. That's why they say human being. You're supposed to just be. You're already created perfectly. You're already there. There is nothing that you need to do. That's the catch. That is the catch. Me sitting here just being my true authentic self. That's it. It's so simple. We complicate it. We really do. We complicate it. All I need to do is to be. That's it. Just be you. That's it. You were divinely handcrafted and made perfectly already. You are just a duplicate of source. You already, there's nothing even more. Matter of fact, you are just undoing what source has already done. You're already perfect. I want to let you know that. And especially men. Men, I want to let you know. This world, they put so much stress on you guys, because men are natural, providers and protectors. But everybody just coming down on men when they feel that the man doesn't have his money up or anything. It's like, can you just let that man be? Just let him exist. That's it. He's just supposed to exist. And him just existing in his masculinity already is good enough if we are just allowed to exist without the world creeping in and telling us we should be this and that. If we allow everyone to be their true authentic self, to just simply exist, the world would already be right. There would be no violence. There wouldn't be any of the sorts, because every piece, everybody that's here is a very intricate piece to the puzzle. But the problem is we keep switching up. We keep thinking that we're human doings instead of just being. We already have enough light just as we are. We're trying to bend the light this way and bend the light that way by being a human doing. If we just be, if we just exist, like my client just existed as that star. He felt no time, no sense of urgency. There were no other stars around him. He was there by himself, but content. And when I asked him, okay, now that we've emptied out that sack, now I want you to ask your star self, your highest divine thought, aka your higher self. That's what we call it. Ask that your star self to put a few things in the sack. And his star self didn't put money in there. It didn't put more things to feed the ego. Didn't put more accolades and give him all these grand titles and all of that. it put in the sack love and peace. So that is who we are. We are love and we are peace. And that is all you need when you are simply just existing, allowing yourself to simply just exist. Allowing yourself the silence, the uncomfortable silence. It's only uncomfortable because the Matrix and the Matrix people have told you that you have to fill every space in. They're not leaving room for source. So when we stop talking, that's source. Source fills in that space. And that's why you should be able to, you ever seen two people, especially like older couples, they're sitting on their front porch in their rocking chairs. They are not saying two things to each other. They are just in the empty spaces in between. And they're feeling so whole and full within themselves. And that so-called uncomfortable silence, it's actually being filled. It's being filled with the unseen at that point. It's being filled with the unspoken. There's power in that. We don't always have to be manipulating energy with our words or with our actions. We can just be still. We can be still, but we're not told to be still. We're told to be human doings. And that's where we're going wrong. So I renounce. I am no longer a human doing. I am not. I renounce it. I renounce it. I'm going to be a human being. Just exist. Just exist. You're good enough. Just exist. You're perfect the way that you are. I don't care if you got one arm and you ain't got no toes. I don't care. I actually met a girl in camp with no toes. I remember she told me this story, and y'all, I'm sidebarring because y'all know I'm silly. That was in 4th grade, and we went to Camp Potawatomi, I think that's what it was called. And she was on the top bunk and I was on the bottom bunk. And she had told me this story of how her babysitter had set her in some really, really hot water and it dissolved her toes and they all melted together. Girl, now I don't know if that's the truth, but she would hang to scare us. She would hang her foot off of the side of the bed. And the ones that were on the bottom bunk, we would look up at, we would be so scared. I want my mom to come pick me up. I miss her. Anywho, guys, see, that's me, just existing as I am. Just exist. I just want to challenge everyone to just exist and run a little experiment. Go and literally, like, just your family or whoever you're around in the house, just don't even talk. You will be amazed. People will feel the need to fill in that space. They will feel the need to fill in the space. And oftentimes when someone does not fill in the space with dialogue, right? Because we're actors here on the Earth School. With dialogue, you feel like that person is mad at you. I used to do that too. Why are you mad at me? You're giving me the silent treatment. Well, maybe they just want to exist. But this matrix, this world does not allow people to simply just exist. It really does, especially men. It's like men, they have to be like the workhorse. No, we're here to exist. You're already created perfectly. The light, the energy that we have inside of us is already enough to power this earth. It's enough to take care of us, to feed us, to clothe us. We already have it. So we're getting in the way by being human doings. We are not actually experiencing what we're supposed to experience. And that's what my client taught me. He was a star and he was just existing. It's just like, wow. That's why I just shut up. I was like, gosh, when's the last time we were allowed to exist? So every day, guys, just allow yourself to exist. Some people go into meditation to feel that, but you don't even have to do that. You can just be out in nature and just exist. Go love on some trees, girls. Go and hug on some trees. I do it all the time. So let's go ahead and do this little imagery really, really quickly. I want everyone to just go ahead and just focus. I want you to pick a spot on your wall. Just pick a spot and continuously stare at it. Continue to stare and stare and stare and stare. Continue to stare Continue to stare. Just go ahead and focus on that spot on the wall. Do not take your eye off the spot on the wall. Focus. And the first thing you might feel your breathing start to change. It might get a little bit heavy. As you breathe in, deep breath in through the stomach, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax. Go ahead and breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, focusing on that spot on the wall. Continue to breathe in and breathe out. And your breathing gets heavy and heavy and heavy and heavy. And even heavier. You might feel the sudden need to swallow all of a sudden. But just go ahead and focus on that wall. As we start to clear our minds, I want you to imagine yourself and a staircase. It could be a staircase out in nature. It could be a beautiful grand circle staircase. But just go ahead and imagine and see yourself there now. See yourself there now. I want you to take account of what your feet looks like in this image. Go ahead and imagine or visualize. Go ahead and imagine, picture, or visualize yourself on that staircase now. We are about to approach stair number 1. Now you have a sack, and on the first 5 stairs, we're going to go ahead and empty out that sack. I want you to set your intention. When we get to the top of the staircase, we're going to go ahead and meet with our highest divine thought, our highest divine self, who is wise. We're going to meet with our wise self who knows all the answers. So in the first 5 steps, we're going to go ahead, as you continue to breathe, continue to focus. And once you have held that focus, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and get into this imagery and get into this vision and to picture. Gather all the things that are burdening you right now in your life. Put them in that sack. If it's stress, if it's money issues, if it's not feeling confident, whatever it is, nothing is too heavy for your sack because we're going to empty it all. Go ahead and see your foot. See your bare foot. Take account of what it looks like. Take account of the color of your foot, even the details and the intricacies of your toenail itself. And go ahead and place that foot, that bare foot, on step number 1. Reach deep down in your sack and pull out one of the items that's burdening you. But before you set it on step number 1, I want you to give thanks to it. Give thanks that it has showed up in your life so that you can move up the staircase to your highest divine wise self. Go ahead and place it down on stair number 1 after we thank it. Breathe in. Stair number 2. See yourself there now. Go ahead and reach down in that heavy sack and pull out the next burden. No matter what it is, nothing is too big. The staircase will handle it. Give thanks to it. And place it down on step number 2. And go ahead and see your foot. Step on step number 3. Reach down in that sack that's getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And pull out the third thing that has been troubling you. Give thanks to it. As you see your foot, step on stair number 4. The sack is lighter, lighter, lighter and lighter and lighter. Place down the 4th thing that has been burdening you and give thanks to it. See yourself stepping on stair number 5. Stair number 5 is where we look down in our sacks. We're going to get rid of everything else that's in that sack, no matter how many items. And even if you don't know the rest of the burdens or troubles in that sack, you can just label those the unknown. So we're going to get rid of everything else that's in that sack And even the things that you don't know what they are, but have been weighing you down. I want you to picture, imagine, or visualize you turning that sack over and pouring it on stair number 5. Give thanks to every item, even the unknowns. And now we are ready. Our sack is empty, and at this point in time, you're feeling lighter, lighter, and lighter, and lighter, and lighter, and lighter. As we continue to walk up the stairs, you're feeling lighter, lighter, and lighter. You may even feel that you are starting to elevate and float up the staircase. Maybe your feet are no longer too heavy and dense, touching each step as we move to step 6 and 7, 8, 12, 15. You're feeling lighter and lighter and lighter. 19. We are very light now. We are very light. When we step onto stair 20, there's going to be 5 doors. You're going to pick the door 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that is best for you. Your soul will know which one. I bet you even know right now which door you are drawn to. And when we go through the door, you are going to meet your highest divine self. This is your wise self that has no burdens because we've emptied them all out already. And you're going to meet the self that is simply just existing. You're going to pick the door that's right for you. The image that comes through is going to be the one that is right for you. And step on stair 20. And go ahead and pick your door. And when you turn the knob, you can hear the sound of the knob turn. And as you open up that perfect door, you now are communing with your highest divine self. Trust the first image you see. Look down at your feet. See if you're on the ground. See if you're floating. See if you're in the cosmos. Wherever you are, it's already perfect for you. Go ahead and meet with your wise self. Allow this image to grow. Trust that what you're seeing and what you are experiencing is just right for you. Just exist. Pure spirit existence, that is who you are. Just exist. Just exist. Just exist. Pull out that sack when you're ready and ask your wise self to place 3 items inside that you can take back with you. Things that will make your day-to-day life better, the things that you've always needed. Whatever it is, your wise self will know what to place in your sack. As it places the first item in your sack, as it places the second item in your sack, give thanks. And as it places the third item in your sack, give thanks. Now I want you to take this sack and hold it near your heart. And I want you to press down and press the sack into the heart space as you allow it to fill every empty space inside. The sack and all of those three items from your wise divine self is now inside of you. And just exist and feel how that feels. Feel the true power of your pure spirit existence. Just exist. You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are wonderful. You are magnetic. You are divine. You are truth. Your wisdom, your joy, peace, prosperity, creativity, beauty, and love. That is who you are. That is existence. Pure spirit existence. Okay. We're going to end this imagery as you allow yourself to expand in your mind's eye. The image of yourself gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the light around you grows brighter and brighter and brighter as you expand off of the page, as you expand past your peripheral vision, as you expand out of the galaxy, out of the universes. I hope that served you well. I want to let you guys know you don't have to fill in the empty spaces. That is source. That is source. And when we allow those empty spaces in our lives, it can even bring two people together when you sit in this perceived uncomfortable silence. But see, the silence is communicating. If you listen to it, if you are just a human being, allow yourself to be and exist, and want to let you know you're perfect just the way that you are. You are divinely perfect. So I hope that this served you and that you felt a little bit of your pure spirit existence today. But guys, I want to say that I love you. The birds, the bees, and all of the trees, they all love you too. Love is the way. Forgiveness, it is the key. And truth is the absolute light that will always, always guide us home. Be well. Be well, guys.